Here we go.
All right. So speaking of synchronicities, last fall I was having just crazy synchronicities, literally seeing them all day, everywhere. And it got to the point where I think I'd have to look in my journal and see. I think this was back in October when this was happening, or into September. And I started waking up in the middle of the night at exact synchronicities. I took pictures of it with my phone because it's like, no freaking way. Because I'd wake up at 1:23, and then I'd wake up again at 2:34, and then I'd wake up again at like 4:44, like all in the same night. And I'm like, what the shit? It did it one night. I thought that was pretty cool. Did it the next night. That's when I'm like, okay, something's going on. So I started taking photos of it. And most of my photos are blurry and they're like a minute out, like it's 1:24 instead of 1:23, because it took me a minute to get my phone out in the middle of the dark. So it does this. I want to say for about 5 or 6 nights straight.
Great, eh?
And by the last night, it starts counting down, and it does like 3:21.
Oh shit.
You know, what was it? It was like 2:22, then like 3:21. I mean, whatever it was counting down. I'd have to relook at my journal what exactly happened. But then I was given a dream. I was shown a dream. And in it, I was down in my basement of the house here, and there was a huge leak in my ceiling, and water was just pouring in. And it was so real. And I'm like, what the shit's going on? And then I woke up. And as the numbers, that last one was 3:21 counting down. Then I have this dream about the leaking roof coming through the ceiling, water everywhere. So I look it up. What is the meaning of a leaking roof or of a leak in your dreams? And it literally was, you are in the process of going through a spiritual awakening and ascension, like literally right now. And it was counting down with those synchronicities. And then those synchronicities stopped after that night. But that was really, just more of the building phase of coming into the ascension, coming into who I am now.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was insane. Just those synchronicities. Yeah.
And empowering too. Like, I don't know about you, man, but my whole shit changed. Like, I was already like this, but like I said before in other podcasts, I did a 15, 16 gram mushroom trip 3-4 months ago and kept, oh, fuck yeah. Like, heroic doses are usually 3 or 4, and people want to go to sleep on that. I'm like, no, supercharge this motherfucking body and mind, reset this. Here's my global reset internally. And my naturopathic doctor's like, wow, Matt, like, why so much? She goes, oh, wait. She does this little thing like Matthew McConaughey does, and Jim Carrey made a fucking Lincoln commercial about it, right? Look like you're rolling boogers, but you're actually trying to get your tentacles there to, connect with cosmos. And she was doing that. And she goes, oh, wait, no, I'm getting something. She goes, oh, okay, no, you did need that. Your body required that. But just be careful from here on out. And what I can say to people is, great if you want to do that kind of shit, but I would really strongly recommend, if you're not doing your shadow work, your dark night of the soul, and you're not really healed yet from all your past trauma and baggage from ancestral, nuggets of aggravation, then do this under the supervision and, practice of a doctor or like a shamanic healer or something, because it's a fucking ride, dude. Like, I've been on LSD, coke, crack. I've done everything, man, naturally, because we were always trying to suppress shit. We want to, pretty much.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, right.
Lock it all out. If I don't think about it, I think half of that is just the wheel, the mouse in the wheel, the hamster in the cage just going around. And it's like, I can't quiet it down. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'll drink. I'll do drugs. I'll do whatever. Quiet down. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. And my wife does it too. Like, yeah, I'm putting you on blast, babe. I don't think she's home. Shut fuck off to the store. But our naturopathic doctor told her, like we were sitting in the office one day, and this chick, dude, is like an earth angel. She knows, she's tapped into it. Like, she's so woke and just accepting that she absorbs it all. But then puts it into the specified folders, if you will, and delivers to the clients that is needing it at that required time. And she said one day, man, we were up there in the city, and she's like, have any of you guys or either one of you guys ever dealt with Ouija board? I'm like, fuck yeah, man. I was all over that shit. Just, as a kid, drunk, and like, fucking trying to play with it and shit. And she's like, no, not you, Matt. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Yeah, take my fucking spotlight. And then she looks over at my wife, and she's looking at Annette, and she's like, what about you? And she's sitting there all nimble and fucking trying to like, my wife doesn't like attention. She doesn't like being put in the limelight, and I get it. I'm an introvert, extrovert, depending on situations, pretty much social butterfly, especially now. But she said, no, like, have you ever been around a Ouija board and whatnot? And that's like, yeah, in university, sure, a little bit with my friends and drinking and shit. She goes, well, I'm telling you right now, man, if you actually just open up, Cosmos is saying that you could speak with the spirit realm. And she's like, oh, God, no. Because just this sheer fucking terror lighting up on her face was like, okay, blockages. We're not dealing with this shit, guys. No fucking way. Count me out, right? So, dude, she's sucking back on ice caps, Pepsis, shit food. And what I mean by shit food is things to dampen that elevation and the spice senses.
Snacks and Cheetos and candy and bullshit.
Exactly. And you and I, we were alcoholics. Well, myself, I'll claim to be an alcoholic, recovering now, 3 years into it. Again, near beers, mofos, it's all I drink and smoke for you. And, it was hard, man, to always have that chatter. But for me, it was fight or flight mode for a good 36 years of my life. And people always said, man, Matt's got a lot of energy. I'm like, fucking, the guy moves like a fucking cheetah. Even when I'm just going to grocery stores. And it's not because I'm still in that fight or flight mode, dude. It's simply put that I'm a guy that knows what the fuck he wants, and he just goes after it. I've done that. I've acquired my business, all my gear, thousands of dollars worth of equipment, got my wife, got the house I wanted. So basically, I knew all along, without putting it out there, that I could manifest anything I wanted to. Because we're in the material realm where it's just literally material. You gather, mold it with your fucking fingers, if you will, which is your thought processing, and it becomes your fruition and your reality. You just got to believe in it, man. This is where every motherfucker standing out there being a motivational speaker, you can do this, you can do that. I was like, yeah, but I'm just me. Who the fuck's going to listen to me? Well, I'm here to say everybody will, dude. Just give yourself that fucking kudos. A little pat on the back and say, jump on this fucking podcast and hit that shit.
I like to look at it, each and every one of us has our own unique version of reality we get to create. It's not it's we can create whatever dream, whatever we want, and it can be so fantastic and just out of this world. It's your choice to do it, and how it all depends on how much belief, how much faith, how much you practice, the ability, the powers that we have. If nobody, I don't think anybody's truly figured it out all the way,
No, not really.
We'd be seeing some crazy shit in the world.
Yeah, we do.
But I think a lot of us have a lot of the techniques down to where we can do it a lot faster than others. We can do it more often than others. But I think that 95% of the population still is completely asleep, if not 99%.
I was going to say 97 for sure.
They're sleeping to the idea that this is even possible. And the fact is, it's all possible. It's our reality. It's what we live in. And
great, man, all day long.
Those vibrations they're putting out, trying to suppress our energy, trying to suppress our ability to create. They know what the fuck we can do.
Yeah,
they're afraid to death of what we can do, because once we figure it out and enough of us take back our true power, it's game fucking over. They lose control. And that's what this whole
hardcore, dude.
That's what this whole game is right now. We're in the fucking final round of this motherfucking battle, and we're getting ready to take this shit back.
Exactly, dude. And I expressed this in a podcast with Kelsey the other day. I said, listen, man, like, I've always been an RPG fan, that fucking hoorah motherfucker being the controlling leader, be like, come on, party of people, let's get this shit done, and fucking stormtrooping. And this is how I operate in life too. And that's what I mentioned when like I come forward, you see me coming, it's not coming with ignorance and hatefulness and attitude and anger and all that shit. I'm coming because I want to make things better. And if it looks like I'm coming at you like a fucking freight train, it is, because I don't want to wake you up in a fucking hurry, people. It's not a matter of sleeping on the couch and going, oh, fucking deal that and procrastinate till tomorrow. No, the time is now. Get the fuck up with us and roll with this shit. And
Yep.
I would suggest too, Joey, get in touch with my buddy Matt Broster. He's fucking lit, dude. He's on
Yep.
point. Dude's down in Australia. He's originally from the UK, and he's fucking dancing all the time, putting on podcasts or video clips and just speaking his truth. He's unfucking touchable, man. Like the shit he talks about. If I was to say, like, if I was to roll in conversation with him, I couldn't debunk anything he says. I couldn't fucking argue any of that because we're on the same page, same frequency, same vibration. You are,
Well,
and everyone
you'll
else.
you'll have to put me in touch with him. Send
Oh,
me the
big time,
send me
dude.
his contact, introduce
Fucking
us.
A,
'Cause,
man.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
find enough people that resonate to the same frequency. And I'm always looking,
Yep.
my journey here has, unfortunately, I've lost nearly all my friends,
Me
that I've
too.
had in the past.
Me
My
too.
family, I love them to death, but I've lost connection with most everybody that's meant anything in my life. And
That's painful.
it's gone down now to this, this core of
Yeah.
my rocks. But now I'm rebuilding out, and
Oh yeah.
I'm finding brothers and sisters
Oh, it's nuts,
across the
dude.
world.
Fucking nuts.
I'm getting ready to talk with somebody a little later over in the UK.
That's beautiful,
And
man.
it's
Right?
like, she's been one of my biggest fans, and I love, and I run so many things by her. Like, oh my God, I just had this thought, or I had that
Right.
thought, and I get to watch her ascension, her awakening, and so many others. And it's just,
Man.
it's so fantastic. I'm finding my soul family, circling back to what we
Exactly,
were
dude.
talking about in the beginning.
Exactly.
We're finding our soul family. We're reconnecting with those that
Dude.
we resonate with, and those that we don't, they fall off. And eventually, it sounds harsh to say, but they eventually disappear from your life because they no
serve you in
longer,
a sense.
yeah, they don't
Right.
serve you. They no longer exist. And over time, that reality changes, and they poof, they may not have ever even existed, 10,
Yeah.
20 years from now, because that memory has been rewritten so many times that they served a purpose then. But 20 years from now, it's a whole new a whole new dimension you're in that didn't even exist.
Almost like a door closing behind you. No,
Right.
check it. It's almost like, it's not almost. I love analogies and comparisons. You'll get to know me as, okay, Matt's got analogies coming out his ass like a fucking wazoo, right? So basically, when you define that, I take that up and go, okay, that's my brain. Like the compartments in the brain that were needed at one point are no longer, or synapses that are totally fucking like just hell bent and wanting to destroy me and take me down in flames. So how about we revisit those pathways, but create new pathways, a branch off, a fork, if you will, so that I can carry on down this path without the obstructions and barricades and the fucking, oh, can't do that. I better, no, shut it down. Right now I can blast through it. And that's the great thing about EMDR. I talked about it on the last podcast. And she's a licensed therapist, and she runs the course of her actions through EMDR and other modalities. And I said, dude, that created a safe haven for me. And I'll say it loud and proud, sitting on the shitter, man, throwing every morning, dude. EMDR, Troy Casey, he's a good friend of mine. Had him on the podcast already, certified health nut, breath work. That motherfucker knows his shit, dude. And I'll lock in with him too. I do his breath work. I do the EMDR from Mr. Goose. That's his fucking YouTube stage name. And those two simple applications, dude, chemical sensitivity gone. Fucking confidence out the ass. I don't have social anxiety. I don't fucking fret. I don't worry. Of course, I do Qigong, other breath work, other modalities. But those two, man, I can swear by, have changed the way I think, the way I operate, and the way I receive information like never before, right? And it's just simply changing the thought processes. Updating your
I'll go,
software.
I'll go one even deeper. Have you
Sweet.
read the book, Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil?
No, but
Phenomenal
all right,
book.
we're gonna
It's
put that
you,
on the.
you can get it for free on YouTube.
Really?
I'll send you a
Audiobook?
link. I'll send
Okay.
you a link to it.
Sure.
For better yet, I'll send a link for you and all of your podcasters that I'll make up for you. That it's got my top 7 best books to create your reality. I've got it on my website,
Yeah.
but it's hidden. I'll open it up for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll give you what was the specific exact name of your podcast?
Self-help for mental well-being.
Okay, that's too long.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
is,
do-
dude. You know what? I thought of that too. Like, you really want to get a niche in there, man. Even my buddy Jordan said it. Like Matt, we got to condense it. Sounds great, but we got to condense it and simplify it. Like layman terms, like Sesame Street. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't saying anything wrong with it. I was just saying for the link,
Yeah.
I'll send it to you, but I'll make it, I think I'll go ahead and just it'll be my website, which is myrealitypractice.com / and I'll
Yeah.
just put Matthew on
That
there.
works.
So
'Cause what I'm gonna do is,
Matthew,
yeah.
and that'll give you access and your
Awesome, dude.
viewers access to my
Sweet.
webpage, and it's got all the books on there, and they're all free. They're all
Yeah.
just YouTube links. I just compiled it all. I
Beautiful.
gave a description of what each book is and how it'll help you. And do it in the order I've got them on there. But
Nice.
in Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill talks about how we drift, like the devil, the negative polarities. Their whole purpose of it is to get us to drift. So if we're on a straight line, this is
I don't
the
want
path
that.
we're supposed to be on. Now, when we drift, we can go left, we can go right, but it takes us slightly off that path. And if we don't correct that path, imagine over time it gets wider and wider. Now, the next time you face a decision or an obstacle or anything, you can either recorrect with the correct path, or you can take another wrong frequency, another wrong choice, which takes you in another frequency and further and further. And every decision we make, every thought we have is a frequency. So he just talks about drifting. I took it deeper into the actual idea of it's all frequencies. There's an infinite number of frequencies on the spectrum. So there's an infinite number of realities and dimensions we're currently living in. And we're literally just jumping timelines and frequencies depending on how far we're drifting back and forth. Can anybody ever truly be solid here? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
But it's all just a matter of how far off course we go. So I saw something, read something yesterday that played into this even more. It was the idea of, the headline was, in the year 2370, I think it was, see how the Egyptians built the pyramids in the year 2370 in real time. And it was talking about how if you go to a different planet in a different galaxy, light years away, time stops, between that, or it takes that long for the image of what happened when they were building the Great Pyramids, however many thousands of years in light speed. So if you get to that point where you're ahead of that, you can look back in time, right?
Yeah, man.
So the idea was, it was Einstein. I think it's the Einstein-Rosen theory, and it's a way to jump through the universe instantly and go anywhere in the universe in a split second. And it made me think, because time doesn't really exist. It only does in this 3-dimensional space time we live in. So I thought, well, that's it. That's how, as we're ascending, we're moving into the 4th and 5th densities. How are we going to be able to experience whatever we want and manifest whatever we want instantaneously? Like, if I want to be on the beach, how do we do it? Because we're being told this is what the reality of what we're evolving into. How do we do it? We do it through eliminating that fucking space-time problem that we have. We are infinitely, our frequency, our energy literally just jumps. We jump to that space. Now we can look back, relive that time. We can go to that time. We can go to that place. We've been everywhere. We've done everything.
Holy fuck. Okay.
Therefore, any time spot, any place in the universe is literally just a matter of jumping there to be in that specific moment at that place in that dimension. I'm on a jet flying with my family to Fiji.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist now, but it exists somewhere. And if I figure out how to jump into that dimension, that reality, boom, I'm there. I'm living that. I don't have to jump off that frequency. I'm now on it. I just keep living it.
Yep.
And nothing's changed for me. You know,
Dude,
for
this
me,
is so-
I have all the memories of
Yeah.
everything that built up to putting me on that jet. Because
Fucking
they've all
nuts.
played out, you know, it's already happened. I just don't know how to get to that frequency yet. That makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense to me. To the average individual who's just coming to light of things, like, what the fuck are they?
That probably just blew everybody's
Yeah,
mind.
like, all right, let's pause this fucking shit and go smoke.
These people are fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, big time, right? But dude, like, this is why people get excited about quantum physics, time traveling, and all this shit. We watch movies, documents. We're like, oh, maybe it is possible some fucking day. Yeah, actually, it is, people. Just fucking take that limited belief that we've been fucking like hammered with all day long and remove
programmed with,
right? And buddy, I love Chrono Trigger. Again, I got to come back to RPGs. That is my reality as a kid. Like, well, that was my safe haven to avoid the destructive environment that I fucking was brought up in. A lot of people said, fucking hats off to you, Matt. Jesus, how'd you come out of that alive, man? I'm not saying I'm going to shit on my family for doing the best they could. If anything, I'm giving them kudos because they're only running with the course of action that they were taught. And they didn't really know how or didn't have the tools invested at the appropriate time to dislodge that way of operating and construct a new fucking path, which is what I'm doing, right? So I'm the, the newcomer in the family, the black sheep, if you will. And that title, I'll put in a descriptive link below what that actually means. It's not just you're the outsider, everyone fucking hates you and you're a fucking mess and a fuck up. No, what it really means is, and just what I said, you're breaking the links to the fucking behavioral patterns and the obstructive fucking ways that our ancestors have taught us. Backwards, man. Yeah, well, you ever see the apes coming up and it shows a man? No. The man is the man. We're gonna go back in time and look at what the fuck we did wrong to get the shit turned around again, man. Right? So we have to go back in time. Look at the movie Back to the Future. Right. How much did Marty McFly fucking understand and learn when he went back and educated himself from the past to bring him to the future?
Right. I got one difference or one modification I would make on what you just said.
No, perfectly fine. Yeah.
You don't go back in time to remember and see what you did wrong. What you did was what you did, and it was exactly the way it had to be for that timeline, for that frequency, for that time, for that purpose.
No, that makes sense. Thank you for that.
We beat ourselves up. We fight that past version of who we thought we should have been, and all the bullshit. Why me? Why I'm a fucking victim? That's what we've been programmed. Fuck that. We're not.
That's what you go to counseling for, right?
Yeah, you don't need a counselor. You just need to fucking go back and accept that it happened. That's the way it had to be. It sucks. It's painful. I get comments on my Facebook, on my posts, on videos, that I had one today. A lady said, I don't regret, I don't embrace, my abuse, my sexual abuse. And I'm like, I get it, man. I get it. I'm sorry that happened to you. I said, but to be honest, I was sexually abused. I had depression. I was drugs, alcohol. I did all of this, but through the power of compassion, forgiveness, and love, I went back. I understood exactly why everything had to happen to me. I embraced it. I loved it. I forgave everybody.
I got to interrupt because that is a crucial point you just made. Let's go back a few steps when you said about forgiving yourself and being compassionate with yourself so that you can move forward. Isn't that what we're trying to learn from our ascended masters like Jesus and Buddha and all these other ones? Well, it sounds like smoke and mirrors, man. If you just kind of talk about it, walk that shit, people. Embrace that shit. Those fuck ups, those slip ups, those stumbling blocks, man, made you who you are today. You needed those trials and errors to conduct yourself the way you do now. That's the
Absolutely.
golden fucking ticket right there.
We
Yeah.
that's how I rewrote my DNA last year
Yeah,
and
right.
changed my life, was through compassion, forgiveness, and love.
Me too.
And it takes me back, like there's a YouTube video, one of my favorites. I'll share it with you
Yeah.
as well. And this it's this little soul. It's like a 15-minute video, and it's this little soul gets to meet God and has a conversation with God.
Oh shit, yeah.
And it's asking, it says, God, I want to go back and I want to do something on my next incarnation that's so amazing, that's so, I want to change, I want to help people change the world, whatever. And God's like, do you realize what that means though? You realize what you're going to have to experience? And the little soul's like, no, I don't, what is it? And it says, meanwhile, all these other souls are starting to come around, like thousands of them. They're like, oh my God, they're having a conversation with God. We got to go hear this. And God's explaining all this to this little soul. And he says, you realize how dark, how much sadness, how much pain you're going to have to experience. And he's like, I want to do it. I do. I really do. And he says something about how you have to have other people along the way. And one of the souls in the audience steps up. It's like, who will help him? And nobody, one of them finally stands up, says, I'll play that role. I'll be that horrible, horrible person. You won't even believe how horrible I will be to you, because I love you so much. And it gives me goosebumps every time I listen to it.
Big time.
And at the end of the day, it's just it's the parable and the idea of, everything in our reality, everything we came here to experience, we've already designed it. We've already created that story. The most horrible things we can think of, we designed it that way to give us this experience. It's not about being a victim. It's about experiencing that. And when we leave here and we go elsewhere, all these terrible people that have done shit to us or done things that we thought were bad, we're all going to reunite with them and laugh, because they were our best fucking friend. It's like, oh my God, you did that. I didn't even know.
You know what's cool? I've had dreams about that dude. Woken up and going, that's too vivid. What, son? Oh, the kid's here. What's up, buddy? What do you need?
That's all right.
We can,
if you need to.
Oh no, he's just asking for something.
Get her done. Yeah.
But I was going to mention that there's a movie from, is it Disney's Pixar? Is it? I think Pixar or something like that, called Soul, and it's an animated movie. Dude, that was spot on.
That one is awesome. I love it, and it's so spot on.
Yes, I'm going to put that in the link below too. But before my son Brandon came by, I was going to interject with a precise thought there, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's part of the thing. That movie is so spot on in what's really happening. And they have to, the negative energies out there, they have to tell us what they're doing. They have to show us how they're doing things. They have to divulge all the secrets to us. That way we have that. If we're in the middle, we can either choose left or right, positive or negative. So it's like they have to give us all these secrets of what they're doing. And then it's our free will that we get to decide to choose it, to be manipulated,
the red pill or the blue pill, right?
Yeah. You take that red pill, you shut off access to that power source. They cannot, you're a lost soul to the negative entity. It cannot reach you anymore. But there's so many still sleeping that they don't care if they've lost one or two or 1,000,
Well, that's it. And I'm going to throw this out there. A lot of people remain sleeping, even when they hear content like this. They think it's fucking woo-woos, too far out left field, a bunch of fucking loons, locking the fuck up. Because what did we speak of earlier? Familiarity. The suffering one endures. They want to hold on to that because it's their story that they told themselves. And without that story, who the fuck are they? They're like, oh, I'm just an empty shell with nothing to give. Okay, back to that victim mentality, woe is me shit. All right, back on fucking line. Here we go, bitching about life and everything in it. And oh fuck, everyone's done this. Man, you guys are burning yourselves up.
The
And you don't
biggest
need
lie we've ever been told
to.
in our lives is that the stories of our past make up who we are.
Fuck no.
Bullshit.
Fuck
Our
no.
story, the stories of our past are just that. They're stories.
That's it. And they're memories.
Who we are is right here, right now, in this moment, and
Leave
we're
those
nothing
words in your
else.
mind. No, present moment. Eckhart Tolle, Sadhguru, all these motherfuckers have been saying it for years.
Yeah.
Be present. You know, when you say, oh, I'm going to get you a gift, I'm going to get you a present. Well, because you can lavish in that moment when you're exchanging. You're giving a gift to somebody and they're receiving it, yeah, all blissful and gay and shit, because you're in that present moment where everything's just utopia. And that's what
Right.
we're all after right now as a collective whole. And if everyone realized that the arms on our skin are like massive universes, galaxies, planets galore all throughout that shit, because you are everything that we surround ourselves with, everything you see in the heavens, if you want to put it that way, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's the same shit. Like, it's interchangeable. There's a mouth, there's an ass, there's a sun, there's a moon. There's polarities everywhere, and we just need to focus on the idea that we're doing this together. There's no need to fight and fucking muckle amongst ourselves and, you know, cast out ignorance, because all you're doing is beating yourself down. What are you gaining from that? And you walk away from an argument, and you're like, I feel shitty and I don't know why. I got the last word in. I thought I trumped over that motherfucker. And you're like, right, I just argue within my own fucking mind. That's all you're doing. Sounds crazy, but we all have multiple voices within ourselves. And you being you, me being me, we're no different. Without you, there's no me, and vice versa.
Right.
That's
We're all one of the whole, but there is no you. There is nobody else. There's only this is where we go deep and we fuck people up. Is, you know, nobody else exists but me.
Yeah,
nobody
dude.
else exists but you.
That's fucking
I don't
think of it that
exist.
way,
You're
right?
you're only there, but we're all coexisting together, creating, like for you, I'm creating you through my own reality and my own imagination. But at some point in time, however long ago, we agreed to meet. We agreed to play this role in each other's movie, but the movie only gets played through my eyes.
Yep.
And your movie's playing through your eyes.
Fuck,
But
didn't it?
there's no both of us. There's only one of us
One
living
screen.
this experience.
Exactly, dude. I gotta ask you, Joe, are those your real eyes, man?
Yes, yes, they are.
Fuck. Okay, people. This dude, like, I can see your eyes. An old motherfucking soul resides within that meat suit. You see the glare in those eyes, dudes? Like, no fucking joke. I see the twinkle all the time in people. I got clients, I'm like, oh, that's an old fucking soul. The way the light can hit it, and they almost, how can I put it? They look mystical, mystified, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah. So this dude here in front of me knows what the fuck is up. And we're correlating conversation together because we both are on the same frequency, both on the same fucking vibe, and just sending that ripple effect out to all our other brothers and sisters to unite, come together, and make this happen already. I'm tired, man. We're all tired, right? Let's stop fucking fighting, man.
I just went through, it was probably over the last month. I was telling my wife, I said, I'm starting to get exhausted. I'm starting to get tired. And I go through ups and downs, you know. I had one a few months ago that really, I got drained for about a week straight. Just this overwhelming fear. No, not fear, because I told you I don't get afraid anymore.
No.
It was this feeling of doom for whatever reason. Just
What, a month
sadness.
ago?
I didn't I think it was a couple months ago.
Okay.
I didn't understand it. Spoke to a couple people on it, and I'm like, why do I feel this way? And then during one of my meditations, I realized what it was. And I was feeling this immense pain for what's coming, for humanity, for us, for the people I love, the people I know. I'm not saying anything bad or good. I'm just saying, I understand what's getting ready to happen in the world. And it's, for me as an empath, for others like you, And all of us out there, I think we all have this collective moment of, oh shit,
Mhm.
where we have to feel this pain. We have to feel